Hi, I'm Jeremy, and I'm here to talk to you about Summoner's Arena. Let's get to it. Let's take a look at the pieces. We've got our board, our monster cards, deck of spell cards, and our mana. So, at the start of each game, each player gains 5 spell cards, 5 mana, and 3 monster cards. Also, at the start of each game, each player starts at the center of the board on the attack square. Whatever position you're on, you cannot do, but anything else that you're touching or adjacent to, you can. So at the beginning of the game, each summoner has the option to do everything except for attack. At the beginning of your turn, you'll draw up to 5 cards, which were already there because it's the first round, and then choose an action. I think my first action will be summon a monster. So I will draw 1 monster from the pile and add it to my hand. Normally you'd keep these to yourself, but for the video, I have them all face up to keep track of everything. Player 2 is going to conjure mana. This means they're going to take 2 mana from the mana pool and add it to their own. Both of these first 2 moves are good, solid choices for defensive moves to keep yourself in the game longer. Player 3 is going to spell swap. That means is they're going to take 2 cards, 2 spell cards. They can be both from the same player or 2 from 2 separate players and add them to their hand. So he's now up to 7 spell cards. The players that lost spell cards gain 1 mana for each card lost. Now it's back to my turn. The attack square is open, so now I can move back into attack. Here are my monsters that are available. I would like to use the 7, but unfortunately I don't have enough mana yet. So instead, probably going to use a weaker one. And I'm going to attack this player over here. So I'm going to place 1 mana, and they're going to place 1 mana. This is how the wager system works for the game. To keep the mana on the card, this player needs to defeat the requirements at the bottom of the card, showing the monster strength. While they do have a spell card equal to 1 wind, they do not have a 2 water. So they have 2 options now. Either concede defeat and I get the mana, or they can ask for help and split the mana with someone else. This player over here graciously decides to help them. They have a 3 water. And now they've defeated the monster. The highest card played takes the higher number of the mana. So if there were 3 here, he would get 2 and 1. But it's an even number, so it's an even split. So they each get 1. And the highest card played also keeps the monster as a token of victory. Spell cards return to the deck to be used later. All monster cards, however, do not return to the deck after being played. Once all of the monster cards have been played, that is another condition for an end game. Okay. So next, it's player's 2 turn. They can either do Astral Prison, Charm Monster, or Attack. Astral Prison, what that does is that places a player into a moment of immunity. They can neither gain or lose mana spells, or monsters. And they choose player 3 to do this too. So they are in a kind of stasis until it's their round again. This also costs 1 mana to do. So they take 1 mana and put it back into the pool. It's kind of like a skip turn. So we're going to skip 3. And we're going to go back to me, player 1. I'm going to confuse. And what confuse does is it pushes another summoner's token anywhere onto the board. This is a good way to prevent someone from doing an action that you don't want them to do, or keeping them further away from a set of actions that you foresee down the future. So, player 3 is in Astral Prison, so I can't affect them currently. However, I can affect player 2. I don't want them to attack, so I'm going to put them on attack. And that's my turn. Oh, and I forgot to draw up to 5. So I'll do that now. It's player's 2 turn. They've only got 3 cards for their spell, so they draw up to 5. If you're over 5, then you draw nothing. So they're back into the starting position, and they can do anything. So what they're going to do is they're going to charm monster. Since this player is still in stasis, they cannot lose anything or gain anything. So the only other option is for them to charm one of my monsters at random. So I just lost my Mecha Monkey, and they now gain it. But in trade, I gain 2 spell cards from the deck to counter that loss. So, both with Charm Monster and Spell Swap, here and here, these take from another player, but they also give something to that player in return for that loss. So you're balancing different economies on that player. So we're back to player 3, who is now out of Astral Prison. They can attack. So they will use their monster cards to attack someone else. They've got a 5, and they're going to attack player 1. So this is an all-in move for them. And I have to be able to defeat the bottom of the card. So let's see if I can do it. Got a 3 fire, a 3 wind, a 4 water, and I need at least 1 more earth. So let me move these so you can see them. So this is what I have to defeat that. I've almost got it defeated. I can ask for help to defeat this, because this card is worth a total of 10, as I also have to put in my last 5 mana for this card. This player can now choose to help me out on this. Because it looks like they know that they can't defeat it alone, they now must choose either to let this person win and I go out, or help me and let this person go out. So we're going to have them help me, because I'm in charge of the video. And they happen to have 1 for what I need. So 3 plus 1, oh sorry, they have a 2 for what I need. 2 plus 3 is greater than 4, a 5. So player 3 loses, and I keep this card as a victory because I played the 4, which is the highest card, and we split the mana. So I keep my original 5 and stay in the game. and they gain 5. So if it were quick play rules, we would now determine the winner by whoever has the most mana, which at this point would be player 2, or if we go by standard rules, we continue going until either the last monster card is played or I run out of mana. If by chance this person had gone out and we both had the same amount of mana, me 1 and 2, we would determine the tie based on the number of monsters defeated. And if we both had the same number of monsters defeated, we would determine that tie based on the combination of their levels versus one another.